Hello everybody, how is it going? So today we're doing a little bit of a different style of video. We're talking about some new cards that are coming to Red Green Law. Just talking about the deck right now in its current state. Again, super strong deck, but it's just very weak to efficient removal, which is again Sakazuki. But does really well against most other decks. You know, does well against Anel, does well against Purple Luffy. Does well against, who else could we consider meta? I still think does pretty good in the Zoro. It just depends if they're running like Fire Fist. I know Zoro recently did pretty well at one of the OPO5 tournaments. And honestly, this support is pretty later down the line, but we recently got, I think one card is going to make a huge difference whenever we get it. So I just wanted to check out a couple of the cards real quick. And we can talk about them a little bit for the future of Red Green Law, because obviously I still do love this deck, and just don't feel in a 3v3 setting the deck is really good. In a just normal tournament, it is not that great because you will inevitably run into a Sakazuki. But yeah, let's just hop into the cards. First off, we'll talk about Cavendish coming in EBO1. So it's going to be the set after OPO6, so still going to be a little bit down the line until we get these cards, but still a super strong card. Supernovas, beautiful pirates, I don't know if we're going to get any beautiful pirate support, maybe down the line, but on play when attacking, if your leader is a supernova type and you have no other Cavendish on the field, you can restand 2 Dawn. In a way, this kind of just makes your leader effect free for the turn that you do play down the Cavendish. And also does let you do, some cool plays when you're rebuilding your board. If you're just playing a 1-drop, then you attack with Cavendish, you kind of just refunded whatever Dawn you used to rebuild back your board. And this does work with Restand Law, so you can do funny plays where, say you pay 2 Dawn for maybe a Dawn, you can swing with Cavendish, maybe go Dawn on Cavendish, swing with Cavendish, play or use leader effect, bring down Restand Law, swing again with Cavendish, restand the 2 Dawn you just used, hard play another one for fun, and just keep refunding Dawn. So the card has some pretty cool interactions with Law, and it definitely, it's nice to have more top end that's like, I guess productive, because right now it's mainly Blocker Law is your most productive top end. Like proactive, sorry, not productive, but proactive top end. And then, Restand Law is kind of when you've already built up some of your board. And Rush Luffy, you could also say is proactive, but not as, I guess, impactful as Blocker Law. So having this card down, first turn you can leader effect is super solid. And yeah, moving on, we have, hopefully I didn't skip anything there. I did not. We have Apoo, who's a 1-drop 1k, 2k counter, rest up to one of your opponent's cost 2 or less characters. Supernova, searchable 2k, just like his other card. It's kind of funny, but his effect is super strong and he is a 1-drop, so just a lot of synergy with Law. Normally with the current Law builds you don't really run 2k Apoo or really any green 2k counters. Your green engine is mostly just your top end Bonnies and usually Veggies, but I feel like this card will almost definitely be included in Law. It just makes a lot of sense. It is nice when you can like search with Bonnie, add this, play this, maybe tap like a little blocker, and then you can like bounce into the Rush Luffy. Just off the top of my head, what I'm thinking, I do think some amount will be run in Law, just because I think this is definitely one of the better 2k counters that's been printed since like Otama. I don't know, I still got like Otama as the best 2k counter, but yeah, really strong card, and that's also an EBO1. Moving on, we have Chambles. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but we'll go over it real quick. Might find a place somehow. But it's activate main. If your leader has the Supernovas type, return one of your characters to its owner's hand, then put up to 1 cost 2 or less of a different color than the return card from your hand into play. So it's pretty much like a smaller version of Law leader effect. I just don't think it's really what the deck wants to do with 1 Dawn. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I guess it's like niche. You want to play Bonnie early, and then you can like use this card, take back Bonnie, play like a Dawn or something, or a Nami. It just feels though that it's wasting your Dawn early game, and you don't want to be doing that as Law. You kind of want to, as long as you're not playing into like a removal heavy matchup, you know, you want to be using your early turns to build up your board, so by your third turn you can leader effect. And spending a Dawn on this just, you know, it doesn't get down a character, it just kind of keeps you even on your board state. So yeah, doesn't seem super great, but it's really cool. I'll give it that. I love the art from you know, Sabaody when Law, I think it's when you first see his Devil Fruit, so pretty cool. But moving on, I believe this is the start of the OPO7 cards, and yes, I know it's gonna be pretty far away, but I think this card is crazy. I think Bandai knew what they were doing when they printed this card. But it's Luffy, obviously, also from Sabaody. Really cool art. I'm pretty sure this is POV, your St. Charlos. But yeah, it's if you have 3 or more characters, your cost 3 or lower characters other than Monkey D. Luffy cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects. So just already, it sounds really good. And just looking a bit more into this still just kind of going off. All right, let's go off Gecko and Sakazuki, because they're going to be, I believe, the most prevalent, you know, control decks or black decks that you know, will be around this format. I'm trying to think what else is in 07. Right, it's Lucci, I guess. Yeah, you could put Lucci there too, but all of them kind of have the trope where, excluding certain cards, it's usually 2 or less. Thinking of Lucci now, it's like 3 or less with maybe man, what's his name, Kaku. So yeah, this card pretty much just says no to like Lucci, which is really, really good. Like, best case scenario, you're playing this on curve, so if you're going second, it depends. There's a lot of factors going into this, but it's pretty much they have to remove this card before they remove anything else on your board. To be fair, Sakazuki does have Hound Blaze, and he does have the new card Murakumo, which is just bottom deck, but it's Lucci effect, but on a 2-cost event. Really, really strong card against Law, but still, this does solve, say, like the Gecko matchup. You know, main removal is like Lucci and, man, I'm bad with card names right now. The 4-drop that pops a 2 or less. What is his name? Absalom. There we go. Yeah, I feel like Gecko has a harder time answering this, because they can't go like Great Eruption, attack with leader -1 like Sakazuki can, and then put it at a 2-cost, you know, and then remove it. But yeah, I feel like this card will be really strong in that matchup. It's still, you know, I do believe Sakazuki is still going to be hard, but this card does kind of like put a wrench in what Sakazuki would normally want to do. So I feel like the card solves a lot of problems. Again, it's another proactive 5-drop, which is nice. You probably want this to be like the first 5-drop you get down using leader effect. So yeah, just a really strong card. But bottom decking does get around that you know, the KO effect. If only they couldn't be removed, you know, that maybe that's asking for too much. But still, this card is I think really, really strong. And again, it feels targeted that, oh, Law is struggling with a bunch of little removal. Let's give him this card. So yeah, really, really solid card. Excited to see this. And I believe the rest of these are OPO7s. So moving on, we have Bonnie. I know the picture of the card isn't the best. I'm pretty sure this is just from like a magazine or something. I'm also iffy on if you're actually gonna play this card in Law, but it's a 5-drop 6k 1k counter. I feel like the standard kind of Law stats there. And on play, up to one of your opponent's rested characters or Dawn do not become active during their next refresh phase. So kind of just like a little 10-drop Dofi, but it's a 5-drop. I like the effect. You know, like, I feel like in mono green decks, playing this on curve is really strong. Just because at that point in the game, they probably only really have one other attacker outside of their leader. If they played like, you know, a 4-drop. How does that even work? On curve, it might not be that great, thinking about it. But regardless, in Law, if it could freeze leader, I think you'd probably play this, because you're almost always going to get this out on curve. So yeah, but it can only do characters or Dawn. I guess the Dawn is kind of funny. You know, you throw them off curve a little bit. But yeah, again, I'm iffy on this card, but it does kind of fit the bill for, you know, Law's top end. So we'll see. And is there any more? Oh, I guess that's it. We went through that pretty quick. But yeah, just in kind of conclusion, I guess, going back to Luffy, this does kind of just gives me hope that more cards will like work well with Red Green Law, and these aren't even all the OPO7 cards we've seen so far. This just recently got leaked, and I wanted to show you guys because I think the card will be really strong in Law, so it's something to look forward to. And there could be even more potential supports that we'll see soon whenever we see more of OPO7. But yeah, I also really want to talk about Red Purple Law because I think that deck got so much support from EBO1 and 07 that it might be one of the top decks coming OPO7. So that'll probably be a separate video, but for now I wanted to talk about Red Green Law first because it's my favorite deck. Come on. But yeah, anyways, if you guys have any thoughts, it's maybe something I missed about these cards, let me know in the comments. And I'm definitely just excited. I'm happy that they're kind of going back to Supernova support. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.